Hi, this is Heather from A More Crafty Life. Today I'm going to show you how to make my evergreen ombre chunky blanket using Bernat blanket yarn in ocean teal and a 9mm crochet hook. This blanket uses an easy pattern of half double crochet at the end and then 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then you repeat that. For the second row, you interlock them by doing 2 double crochets the row below it and then chain 2, and it makes an interlocking kind of pattern. You finish off the blanket with 1 row of half double crochet. So let's get started. For this blanket, I'm going to use a wandering blue dappled yarn. Using the 9mm crochet hook and a multiple of 4+1 for the pattern, I'm going to chain 89 using Bernat blanket yarn dappled wandering blue. So, let's get started. And I will meet you at the end of the row after you have your 89. Now that we have our chain of 89, we're going to do 1 row of half double crochet to start the blanket. So in the 3rd chain from the hook, you are going to do a half double crochet and repeat until the end of the row. And if you've never worked with Bernat blanket yarn, it's pretty easy to use. It's a little hard to see the stitches. So if you're having trouble, you want to just use your finger or the end of the hook to kind of find where your next chain is. You also want to leave long tails to weave in. And it looks best in simple stitches or stitches with texture that are not too complicated. It comes in large skeins of 10.5 ounces, and there's tons of different colors, brights, ombres, solids, multis, baby yarn, tweeds, sparkle. So just keep continuing with a row of half double crochet and I will meet you at the end. Now that we have a row of half double crochet, you are going to chain 2 and turn your work. Then you're going to do a half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. So 1 half double crochet. Then you are going to follow that by a chain 2 and you are going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Followed by 2 chains. 1, 2, skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, followed by 2 double crochets. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, 2 double crochets. Chain 2, and it will look like this. So that is your repeat: 2 double crochets, chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, skip 2, and you repeat that until you get to the end of the row. So I did my chain 2, I skipped 2, 2 double crochets. And chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 2 double crochets. And you continue on till the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. So you're at the end of the row, and then you'll have you have just done your chain 2 and you skip 2, and then in your last stitch will be a half double crochet. Then you chain 2 and you turn your work. So this is what it will look like for your second row. And now on the third row, you are going to double crochet, but 2 rows below, but the row below it. So double crochet, followed by a second one. Then you chain 2, skip these 2 double crochets, then double crochet in the row below, and do a second one. Then you chain 2, skip these 2, double crochet 2 rows below, chain 2, and that's the repeat. So you do 2 double crochets the row below, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets in the row below, chain 2, skip these 2, and repeat until you get to the end of the row. I'll meet you there. So your work should look like this, and then when you get to the end, you'll have done your last 2 double crochets, and then you will half double crochet in the last stitch. Chain 2 and turn. After your chain 2, you're going to half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. Then you're going to chain 2 and you're going to double crochet in the row below in the open spaces. You're going to crochet around the chain 2 like you did before. And then followed by a chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the spaces. Followed by a chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then you keep repeating, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, it will look like this. You have your last 3 stitches, and you will half double crochet in the last stitch. Chain 2 and turn. Then you will repeat row 3 and 4 until you have the height that you want. When you have the length that you want, I did 91 rows, repeating row 3 and 4. You're going to need to finish up the gaps. So you'll want to end on a row with double crochet. You'll chain 1, and then you'll single crochet in the first 2 double crochets. Then you will half double crochet in the row below, 2 half double crochets, then you'll do 2 single crochets on top of the next 2 doubles, and then you'll do 2 half double crochets the row below, and then you'll do 2 singles. And you will repeat until you get to the end of the row, ending with single crochet. And it will look like this to fill in any of the holes. And then I did 1 row of half double crochet to finish the blanket. You can find this pattern in a free PDF on my blog, A More Crafty Life, plus hundreds of others. Thank you for watching. This is Heather from A More Crafty Life. Today I'm going to show you how to do the spiked sedge stitch. This is a variation of the easy sedge stitch, which is a combination of single, half double crochet, and double crochet in 1 stitch, which is then repeated for a row. For this example, I'm going to show you how with a E 3.5 millimeter crochet hook and Kobo Lion brand yarn. It's a mix of cotton and bamboo. So for this stitch, you need a multiple of 3 plus 2. So I'm going to show you 18 plus 2, which is 20. So the first thing you need to do is crochet a multiple of 3 plus 20. In this example, like I said, I'm going to use 3 plus 2. I'm going to do 20. Okay, so for this stitch, you need to use a multiple of 3 plus 2. So for this, I'm going to do 20, multiple of 3, 18 plus 2. So first, you're going to chain 20. This yarn is pretty easy to work with. It does split a little bit sometimes, like most common to a cotton yarn, but it's pretty easy to work with and take your stitches back out if you need to frog it. Okay, so I've chained 20 and now I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, here's where I'm going to make my first single crochet. And in this pattern, you do a row of single crochet first before you start the sedge stitch. So I'm going to do a row of single crochet. I'm going to repeat that across. And the spiked crochet sedge stitch is just a variation on the regular sedge stitch. So if you've done the sedge stitch, which is an easy single crochet, half double crochet, and a double crochet all in one stitch, the spike stitch is just a variation. You do the double crochet 2 rows below where you would normally put the stitch. So that's what I will show you where it goes. So you just continue with your single crochet, and you can see here kind of what I mean about where it kind of splits sometimes. I'm not gonna really worry about that right now. Okay, so I'm getting close to the end. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So here's my last single crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. Okay, so you have a row of single crochet. Now is where you're going to start the sedge stitch. So you are going to single crochet, half double crochet, and do a double crochet all in the very first stitch. So the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. You start in the very first one. Then you're going to skip two stitches, and you're going to do the same thing in the third. You're going to single crochet, half double crochet, followed by a double crochet. You kind of get these little wedge shapes. Then you're going to skip 2, single crochet, half double crochet, and a double crochet, all in the same stitch. Okay, then you are going to skip 2 and repeat. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, all in the same stitch. Okay, skip 2 and repeat to the end of the row. On your last skip 2, then the third stitch is going to be a single crochet. So you're going to always end your row with 1 single crochet in the last stitch. So it makes it easy to follow. Okay, so here I am at the end. There's my last 2, and then this is the third stitch following it, and that's where my single crochet stitch goes. So far, this is what you have. And then if you were doing the sedge stitch, you would just keep repeating this. You would chain 1, and then you would start over. So chain 1, and in the first stitch, you're going to do a single crochet and a half double. Now, if you're going to do the regular sedge stitch, you would go ahead and do the double crochet in this stitch and just keep repeating it. You would do the single crochet, half double, double crochet in each one of the single crochets until you got to the end of the row. But since we're doing the spiked one, you are going to put your stitch, your double crochet, you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to find the single crochet down here, and that's where you're going to do your double crochet 2 rows below. So not in this row, but not at the top of this row, but down here below it. So it's kind of next to it. So here's the next single crochet, where you're going to put 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then your double crochet is going to go in this stitch right here. And that's what gives you what's called the spike. So then you skip over to the next single crochet, you do 1 single crochet, 1 half double, and then the double is in this stitch right here, 2 rows below. as long as you get it in the same place every time, it's not real important exactly where you have it. It's just to give you the spike effect where it kind of crosses over to give you a little bit more texture. And I like to have texture in my blankets and try new stitches so I don't get bored. Okay, so you have a single, a half double, and then your double crochet, you yarn over, you insert your hook, and then you finish your double crochet. Then skip to your next single crochet, do one single, one half double crochet, and then one double crochet below, the second row below. And then your last stitch is going to go in the last single crochet of the row before. Then you're going to chain one and you're going to do the same thing over, and see how it kind of makes this spike, this kind of spike stitch here, the stitch that goes down. That's the difference between the sedge stitch and the spike stitch. I hope you enjoyed this pattern, and you can find the written pattern on my blog, More Crafty Life. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is Heather from A More Crafty Life. Today I'm going to show you how to do I Love Fall blanket using Bernat blanket yarn dappled. This one is called Wandering Blue, and here's a sample of what the pattern is going to look like. You start with a row of single crochet, and then you do a row of 2 single crochet, chain 3, 2 single crochet, and then you do 5 double crochets in the chain 3 space. So let's get started. Okay, in the original blanket, I used 5 different Bernat blanket yarns. Those are Pumpkin Spice, Deep Sea, Orange Leaf, Crimson, Sun Soaked. I used 1 skein of each, and I started with Pumpkin Spice. This pattern needs a multiple of 5 plus 3, and for the blanket I used 93 and a 9mm crochet hook. So let's get started. The first row is going to be single crochet. So we're going to chain 93. I will meet you at the end when you have your 93. Now that I have 93, my multiple of 5 plus 3, I'm going to do a single crochet in each stitch, starting with the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of the chains for the entire row. I like to start most of my patterns with a row of single crochet for the foundation. I like how it looks. So we're going to continuing doing our single crochet for the entire row, and I will meet you at the end. Now that I have my row of single crochet, I'm going to chain 1, and turn my work. And then you're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 in the same stitch as the chain you made, 2, and then you are going to chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and do 2 single crochets. Okay, so it should look like this: 2 single crochets followed by a chain 3 with 3 skipped spaces and 2 single crochets. Then you are going to chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 2 single crochets, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, single crochet twice, and that is your repeat for your row. 2 single crochets, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 2 single crochets. Now that you've turned your work and you've done 1 single crochet, you're going to single crochet in the first stitch where the chain 1 was, and then do a 2nd single crochet. Then you are going to chain 3 and skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and do 2 single crochets. So it should look like this: 2 single crochets, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 2 single crochets, then chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, single crochet twice, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and this is your repeat for the rest of the row. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, 2 single crochets. So repeat that until you get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. Now that I'm towards the end of the row and I've done 2 single crochets, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and then I have 2 stitches left, and then you do 2 single crochets. Then you chain 3, and you're ready for your 3rd row. For your 3rd row, the double crochet counts as your first stitch, and you're going to do 5 double crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it should look like this: 5 double crochets, and then you move on to the next chain 3 space, and that is the repeat for the row. 5 double crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces. There's 3, 4, and 5. So here gives you an example of what yours should look like. I will meet you at the end of the row, right before the last stitch. When you get to the end of the row, and you've done your last 5 double crochets, you are going to do 1 double crochet in the last stitch of the row. And then so it should look like this, and then you are going to repeat row 2 and 3 until you have the length that you want. And I will show you the row again so you can get an idea of what it looks like. You're going to chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the second stitch, and then you are going to chain 3, and then you are going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, which ends up being the last stitch of the double crochet group and the first one of the next one. Then you do 2 single crochets, and then you chain 3. You skip 3 stitches, and you're going to do 1 single crochet in this group of double crochet and 1 in the next. And then you would repeat this row just like before until you get to the end, and you would do 2 single crochets at the end of the row. For the original pattern, I like to end with the 5 double crochets and 1 row of single crochets like I started. And what I did was 10 rows of the first color, which was pumpkin spice, and then I did 2 rows of another color, and then I alternated using all of the yarn. I'll show you at the end of the video a picture of the color choices that I made for the I Love Fall blanket, and you can find this PDF and hundreds of other free patterns on my blog, A More Crafty Life. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hi, this is Heather from A More Crafty Life. Today I'm going to show you how to do the double cluster stitch, left-handed. For this tutorial, I'm using an H 5mm crochet hook and Lily Sugar and Cream cotton yarn, which is a gauge 4. In the original picture, I used damask ombre. For this pattern, you need an even number of stitches. For this example, I'm going to do 20, but you can do any even number. Okay, so I'm going to crochet my 20. Okay, so when you have your even number, you are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and the next. So you should have 2 single crochets right next to each other. Then you are going to chain 1, skip 1 space, single crochet in the next. And that is the repeat pattern to the end of the row. Chain 1, skip a space, single crochet. So chain 1, skip a space, single crochet. Chain 1, skip a space, single crochet. So what you're doing is you're making little chain spaces, and that's where your clusters are going to go. Okay, so chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet, Okay, so now we have 3 stitches left. You are going to chain 1, skip this stitch, and put a single crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. Okay. So then your work should look like this, with the single crochets followed by a chain 1 space that makes a little hole. Then you are going to chain 4, turn your work, and then you are going to do your double crochet cluster in the chain 1 space. And the double crochet cluster is like a double crochet together, finished off by a chain 1. So what you do is you do half of a double crochet and then you repeat it 4 times, and then you finish off the stitch by pulling all through, and then you do 1 chain stitch at the end. So you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So there's half of your first double crochet. Then you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So there's your second one. Yarn over, insert a hook, yarn over again, and pull through 2 loops. Then yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So now you have the 4 separate parts of a double crochet plus your first loop. Then you yarn over and you pull through all of the loops on your hook, and then you finish it with a chain 1. Then you go to your next chain 1 space. So you yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, insert a hook, yarn over. You have 2 loops, pull through those 2. So that gives you 3. Then yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2. Okay, so then you should have 5 loops on your hook. Then you yarn over and you pull through all 5, and then you do 1 chain. Then you go to the next stitch and you repeat. Once you get a hang of it, this stitch is easy to do. It just has a 2-row repeat, and it works out pretty fast once you've got the hang of the cluster. And it goes pretty quickly since the cluster is pretty tall. So you keep repeating your double cluster in each of the chain 1 stitches until you come to the end of the row. Okay, so far yours should look like this. Here's your chain 4 at the beginning, and then 4 of the double clusters. Then you find your next chain 1 space and you repeat. The cluster is always followed by the chain 1. Okay, we're getting close. We got 2 more clusters. Okay, last one. Okay, so you've done all of your chain one spaces, and then you do a double crochet in the last stitch on top of the chain from the row before. And then you're going to chain one, turn your work, and you are going to do one single crochet in the second stitch. Okay, so this is going to be your second row of the repeat. Okay, so you have the chain one and the single crochet. Then you are going to chain one, and you are going to single crochet in the space between the clusters, followed by one chain one, single crochet, chain one, next space between the clusters, single crochet, chain one. And you're going to keep doing this until you get to the end of the row. Where you're going to do one single crochet on top of the cluster, that chain one stitch that you used to finish it, and then one single crochet on top of the chain three from the row before. So this is what it should look like. You're going to chain four and turn, and then you're going to repeat the clusters just like you did before. Thank you for watching my tutorial.